Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today I'm just going to talk about where you guys can buy yourself a reborn and just share some tips and tricks on where to buy reborns and where not to buy reborns. So we're just going to jump right into the video. First, I'm going to talk about where to buy reborns from. This is my current collection. I have 2 toddlers and then I have Oakleigh in the middle. She's my little one. Millie and Luka are like her big brother and sister, so that's how I look at my collection. And actually, Millie and Luka came from the same artist, and then Oakleigh came from a different artist, and I will in this video share their artist and where I got them. But I wanted to talk about where you can purchase a reborn. Number 1 on places to purchase reborns is reborns.com is my favorite place at the moment. Reborns.com, I would say, is a very reliable source and place to purchase a baby. This website is very secure and does not allow counterfeit reborns, and that is how you know that you are buying an authentic reborn. It's hard to know, especially in the beginning, because I was one that made the mistake, but it's hard to know when you're buying an authentic and when it seems like an authentic, and just the second guessing if you're buying an authentic reborn or not. But I would say that reborns.com is all authentic. Actually, I know that it's all authentic because lately, if you look into their terms and conditions and all of that, it will not let any sellers post any reborns that are counterfeit dolls. So that is the number 1 website that I recommend for buying reborns. Another thing I wanted to add was the prices on reborns.com aren't horrible. It depends on the type of quality baby that you're looking for. I would definitely say that the higher the budget you have for a reborn, the higher quality baby that you are gonna get. I've been on there lately and they are selling some pretty high-end reborns. They're asking a lot, but really what it comes down to is the quality of the baby compared to their prices. So if you're looking for something on the little lower budget, you can still find that on there. It just might be a little bit higher because, again, it all depends on the quality of the artist's work and what they're asking. My second website is Etsy, and actually I purchased Oakleigh, I think it's been 1.5 years ago now, off of Etsy. A little over 1.5 years ago now. Oakleigh is from Mia Maria's Nursery. I'll put her Etsy page down here, and I'll link it down in the bio also, so you guys can go check that out if you're looking for getting a reborn from Mia Maria's. Lately, I believe she's stopped doing custom orders. I purchased Oakleigh when she was doing customs, so I believe she's on pause for the time being with customs, but lately she has been posting some ready-to-ship babies, and they're so pretty. Mainly bigger babies, but I'm sure she will be doing plenty more coming up here. Knowing that she was a custom order off of Etsy, Etsy is another reliable source. It's just hard because Etsy, you have to be careful. Not all of the babies on Etsy are reliable. One thing that I would do, and one tip for you guys, is review the comments. On Etsy pages, each seller should have reviews and comments on their page of how their work is and how their customer service was with their buyers. So I would recommend looking through their reviews and seeing how their reviews are for their work. And it also all depends on what you're after for a baby, whether it's a silicone or a vinyl. I would definitely say, going back to that, vinyls you can get on reborns.com. Silicones, I recommend getting them on reborns.com. However, silicones are high-end babies, so their price ranges are just a little bit higher. So if that's not something you're looking into maybe the silicone is not the right doll for you. Then my next place to buy Authentic Reborns is, I was recommended this when I was looking into getting babies, and I was recommended a Facebook group. I know out there that they have Facebook groups specifically tailored towards reborns that are for sale. However, I myself am not on Facebook, so I have never joined any of those groups to see what those groups are like. But they do have those reborn groups out there that try to spread the word about selling their babies, and from what I've heard, they've been pretty reliable and inexpensive if that was something that you were looking for. Finally, my last recommendation on where to buy reborns from is Instagram in general. I know that when I'm on my reborn Instagram, if I go on my reborn stories, there's people advertising their reborns for sale all the time, and then in general, there's just, if you go to people's Instagram pages, there is reborns for sale on some people's pages. I know that sometimes to help others out, I will repost reborns for sale, and I guess it's all personal preference and what you are looking for and the price range that you are looking for. So best of luck to all of you guys. So that covers a wide variety of places to buy reborns. Now I'd like to do the opposite and talk about where not to buy reborns. You have to be really, really careful when you're buying a reborn, especially if it's your first reborn and you're not sure what to look for. That is why I'm making this video, to help you guys out. Oh, one thing I wanted to add actually before I move on is kind of briefly say that if you're looking for babies like these two, they came from Pumpkin Doodle Babies Nursery, and she's on Instagram. I know that for a fact, and you can go to her Instagram page, but then you can also go to her bio on her Instagram page, and sometimes artists, I know like her, Mia Maria is also on Instagram, so you can go to their bios, and oftentimes they have their websites, or if it's like an Etsy shop like Sarah, her artist, has, they will often just link their websites right there and then, so it's kind of easier access for buyers like you, possibly. Okay, so sorry about that. Now moving back into where not to buy reborns from. My number one, I would say, and I know this from experience, especially nowadays, it's becoming more of an unreliable source, and I would say that is eBay. I know from my personal experience, when I first got into the hobby, I thought eBay was the best place to buy reborns. It was cheap and it was affordable, and further down the road, I'd purchased a few babies off of eBay, and I'm not going to say all of them are bad, but I will say that there is a lot of reborns that are cheaply made, and they're not actually reborns, they're just factory babies. That is hard eBay is a hard place to shop on, and so I recommend for new buyers for reborns, I recommend to just stay away from eBay altogether. eBay, you have to, one thing that I've looked into is filter out a lot of things, like you have to put used, because new reborns oftentimes brings up just the factory made, what they call reborns, when it's just plastic babies from China, and it just is cheaply made counterfeit dolls. I have bought a few scams on there, and I know I've shared that story up. I'll link that video. I'm also going to touch base about that story a little bit later this week too, when I talk about how to avoid scams. And I guess just overall, I don't recommend eBay. eBay has been not the best place to buy reborns, and I wish I would have known that starting out as a reborn collector. So then going from eBay, I would say Mercari. Mercari isn't a bad website to buy off of. You're not going to get scammed off of that website. Just from my personal knowledge about Mercari, I would not recommend getting a reborn off of Mercari. Again, from what I've seen, it's just been cheaply made reborns, and it's just hard to say that those are reliable reborns. And then after that, I have, for my last place on where not to buy reborns, is I've also heard of people just go to Google and type in, maybe they wanted to type in reborns or full body silicone reborns on Google, and then just clicked on like one of the first websites that popped up. I don't recommend looking for reborns that way because, like I said, you're going to end up clicking on the wrong website. I, from a personal experience, typed on a website one time that said it was Joanna Kazmierzak's full body silicone reborns, and I know who Joanna Kazmierzak is, and if you guys know who Joanna Kazmierzak is, she's a really, really high-end artist, especially a silicone artist. And I was scrolling through that website. It seemed legit at first, and it had all of these babies for sale, specifically silicones, and they were only like $1,500. And that seemed like surreal, and it didn't seem legit, but the website itself seemed very legit. So I tried looking into reviews, and there wasn't really any reviews. So what I'm trying to get at with that is, do not trust any website you see on Google. Half of them, I would say, especially with reborns, they are fake. They will not send you what you ordered, and you will be scammed out of your money. I do not recommend that. I repeat, I do not recommend that. Like I was saying in the beginning of the video, just go to reborns.com. They have affordable babies of all price ranges, and you can find a legit baby on there. Do not go to random websites through Google. You will not find your way, and you will be devastated. I say that only because I want to inform you guys where to buy reborns and where not to buy reborns, to help you prevent making that mistake of getting scammed out of your money. It's not fun, and I hope that you guys never have to go down that road. Informing you guys about this now will help you prevent that further down the road. And then what I'm going to say to end the video here is just some tips on what to look for when you're buying a reborn. One thing that I would say what to look for is, like I was saying earlier, read the reviews on those posts or those dolls. Oftentimes, even on reborns.com, you can go to a artist's nursery and read through their reviews of items that they have previously sold. You can look at their star rating. Star rating also helps, and you can just overall review their pages before you decide to purchase. Always do your research before you purchase, because like I said, you don't want to get scammed out of your money. So I'd say number one thing is to review those reviews, read through them, and make sure they're good reviews. If it's hesitant, don't just buy a reborn to buy a reborn. Your time will come and you will find a good reborn for a good price and not get scammed out of it. Just trust the process is what I'm saying. And another thing I wanted to say is, I feel like a lot of people in this community say, oh, your baby has to have a COA. No, your reborn does not have to have a COA to be authentic. And if you guys want to learn more about that, I will talk about that at the end of the week in my how to avoid getting scammed topic video. I'm going to link that video up here. If you are watching this at a later date, go ahead and just click right on that video. But yeah, I'm just going to end that off here, kind of on a cliffhanger, but if you want to continue watching and learn those tips on how to buy an authentic reborn, please watch out kind of the second part to this video later this week. Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys next time. I will see you guys later this week on Belle's Reborns. Bye, guys!